Hello, so we're back.
Hi everyone.
We're Nutritious Meets Delicious, right?
Absolutely.
And what are you?
I'm delicious. She's nutritious.
Yes, so we're excited to talk about this holiday time, this Thanksgiving time. And we've been actually putting some meals together for some people, and we've been kind of paying attention to the ingredients. And so our whole segment today is we wanted to talk about some of the ingredients that you don't need to purchase, that you can make yourself, that's actually going to be better for you and is going to taste better. And you're not going to get a lot of those genetically modified foods that you get when you go to the store and buying these canned goods and preservatives and all of this stuff. So take it away, Chef Andrew.
So next Thursday, Thanksgiving. It's the one day that we all throw in the towel and we say, you know what, today's the day I'm eating everything. And you know what, whereas Kay and I might not agree with that philosophy, but I'll tell you what, if you're going to give yourself one day a year, fine, go ahead. But I'll tell you what, if you're going to do it, at least try to take care of yourself that day.
Yes.
You can eat all of everything you want, but the thing is, the things that we buy, that we prepare on Thanksgiving Day, whereas they are traditional, folks, they're full of just lots of bad stuff.
Yes,
and
we're going to go through that, right?
Yeah, and what we're here to tell you today is to make the things that you buy in a can, things you buy in a box, it's an easier way for you to make them yourself and take the bad stuff from here way down to here. Okay, and you say, well, Chef Andrew, you know, I have all this going on. I don't have time to do this and this and this. I'll tell you what, that's why you have kids. That's why you have in-laws. That's why you have guests.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes. When
people walk in the door and they say, hey, I'm here. Hey, is there anything I can help you? Even though they think it's rhetorical, you're like, you know what? Absolutely, I got your prep list right here. So here you go. So it's all about delegating on Thanksgiving.
And I will say, because I'm not the cook in the family, so I'm the first to say, how do we make it so simple? But I've been watching you, and you have made it simple. Like, I could do this, not that I would want to do it without you, and not that I don't have to, but it is that simple. So where are we going to start?
Yeah, so we're going to start with savory. We're going to start with the main table, and we're going to start with a side dish. We're going to start with cranberry sauce. Sounds simple, sounds easy. Buy the can, open it, pour it in a glass.
That's what I've always done.
Okay, why don't you let them know what's actually in that can?
Well, I didn't know how bad that was until I started reading the ingredients, and it's full of corn syrup and just all of the stuff that's toxic to your cells in your body. And I will tell you that you're going to feel bad 2 to 3 days after you eat this, when it's so simple to just buy the cranberries yourself, right? What did we buy? We bought these cranberries right here, the ocean spray.
Yep. So when the first person walks through the door and says, hey, is there anything I can do to help you? You know what? You bet. Right here. So a simple cranberry sauce is cranberries, water, and a sweetener. Now, whether that's coconut sugar or honey, email us at nutritiousmeetsdelicious@gmail.com, and I'll give you the specific recipe. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's 2 cups of fresh cranberries, 2 cups of water, 1 orange, squeezed and then dropped into the water cranberry mix. Let it simmer for about 30 minutes. Now, if you're feeling ambitious, get a zester, put some orange zest in there so that we get some of those essential oils. Put some pureed ginger, about a teaspoon in the mix. If more ambitious,
What? What is that?
We have the cranberries and we have the oranges, but for the sweetness, we're going to do a cup of honey with the 2 cups of water and 2 cups of cranberries, and we're going to do a tablespoon of coconut sugar.
Yes.
And then what I was going to say was, if you're feeling more ambitious, you can put a stick of cinnamon in there.
Oh, that's
just
right.
let it simmer. Just let it simmer, and then when it cools, it's going to look just like this. We made this out of exactly what we told you, and this looks, it's tart, it's sweet,
Yes.
It's got the tang of the orange, it's got the spike of the ginger.
It's really good, and I usually am not a cranberry person, probably because it's out of a can, but when you made this and I tried it the other day, it's really, really good, and it's good with that turkey. It's good by itself, and it was so simple to make. So we don't have to do all this corn syrup and just grab cans because we're in a hurry. We can literally make this more healthy and make it taste good.
Right, remember 2 cups of fresh cranberries, 2 cups of water, 1 cup of honey, a tablespoon of coconut sugar, 1 orange squeezed, zested if you like, a teaspoon of ginger, and 1 stick of cinnamon if you're feeling more ambitious. Just let it simmer for about 30 minutes. You'll be good to go.
Yes. So moving on, are we going to talk about our sweet potatoes next?
We are. So the next big thing where just all of the bad stuff comes in is candied yams, aka sweet potatoes, with marshmallows on top.
Oh my gosh.
So real quick, sweet potatoes and then there's yams. What's the difference? A yam is a variety of sweet potato. Okay, they come from the Caribbean. So you see yams and then you see sweet potatoes. It's the same thing, folks. Yam is a brand of sweet potato.
Interesting.
Okay? And the way that we make ours and the way that anybody makes theirs is boil them, mash them, butter, pumpkin pie spice, nutmeg, cinnamon, some butter.
More butter.
Yeah,
Kerrygold butter, of course.
Butter.
Grass-fed butter.
And that's fine because sweet potatoes, we fully support. But where people kind of go awry is the topping of marshmallows.
Yes. Oh my
Folks,
gosh.
marshmallows is one of the top 5 things you should never eat.
Right here, never, never, never. We give it to our kids with s'mores and we put it on our sweet potatoes. I used to put it in my hot chocolate. But guess what it is? This is just one little puffy bit of corn syrup, straight corn syrup.
The absolute number 1 ingredient in marshmallows is corn syrup.
Yes. It's genetically modified. It's just pure toxin that's not going to do anything to help you. And really, honestly, I mean, marshmallows don't taste all that good.
Right.
They're okay, but we can make this taste good without the marshmallows. How are we going to do that?
Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to create a meringue. Okay, we're going to do egg whites and honey. We're going to get the same effect. So here we have 2 egg whites, and I say 2 egg whites. This is another thing. When somebody walks in, can I do anything to help you? Absolutely. Here's your egg whites. Here's the honey. Here's coconut sugar. I'm going to show you what to do. But I will tell you that when you go to make this meringue, in the egg section of your grocery store, you'll see a little carton of just egg whites.
Yes.
Buy that, use those. The reason why is because not everybody is extremely efficient in cracking eggs. Mm-hmm. If you get the smallest bit of egg yolk in your egg whites, they will not froth. So go for the straight egg white carton, and all we're going to do is tell them to put it in a bowl and start whisking away.
You make that look so easy.
Well, my hand made it look really easy.
How long do we need to do this?
Probably for about a minute, 2 minutes.
Oh, wow. It's starting to get
Probably. Well, what we're doing is we're whipping air into it.
And then we're going to put that on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
So we're getting frothy and
Much
frothy.
better than the marshmallow.
Yeah.
Egg white. Wow, look at that. You'll be able to see that in just a minute. How do you know when it's ready?
So what they tell you is whip it to stiff peaks. Now, what does that mean? I'm going to show you in one second what that means. So when you pick up your beaters,
Oh, kind of just.
so those are soft peaks. We want stiff peaks. When we want to pick it up, the peaks don't do anything. They just stand straight up.
Okay. And that's just egg white. So you're about to put
Yeah.
coconut sugar.
So how do we make it sweet? Coconut sugar.
Our favorite coconut sugar. It's low glycemic. You're not going to get a lot of those extra calories from the sugar.
So right now we're going about 2 egg whites to about 2 tablespoons of coconut sugar.
Oh, that looks yummy. I'm just going to kind of turn this so you can see. Wow.
See, look, stiff peaks. Not falling, not doing anything.
Yeah.
It's like Twin Peaks, but different.
And it's like the same consistency as the marshmallow, And I'm just gonna take a little.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh wow, that's really good. So now, so we put that on top of there and then we bake it, or won't that?
Let me get my handy spoon here. So
we make this and then we put that on top of
yeah,
the
so
end?
just like you were putting marshmallows on top, we're just gonna put our meringue
Oh, that looks so good.
right on top.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you folks, you're not gonna get the same experience as marshmallows, but just the whole idea of putting corn syrup in your body, this is just so much more worth not eating marshmallows.
Yeah, but that looks really good. That looks even better.
But it's lighter, it's fluffier, and honestly, you can eat more of it.
Yeah.
Because it's light.
That's calling my name. Eat
Right?
more of it.
Especially on Thanksgiving Day, because that's all of our goals.
Yes.
And we're not going to deprive you of that one day a year that you're like, this is my time. I'm having an eating championship with myself. And see if I can win.
I will tell you that one of the number one hospital visits is from overindulging. So we want to be careful. Let's pick our battles. Let's find the things that we like. Let's enjoy Thanksgiving. It is a day that we can enjoy with our friends and family, but you don't want to make yourself so sick that you end up in the emergency room. That's not fun. So I always say pick the top things you like, have a little bit of each, but you don't have to stuff yourself. Really.
Because there's always leftovers.
That's right. Okay, so what are we going to do now to make that like the true marshmallows that are kind of charred on top of the sweet potato? What do we do now?
Well, we have our broiler on high, so we're going to throw it in there just to get that really nice, toasty, crunchy. But if you're familiar with Sur La Table or Williams-Sonoma and you get everything they have, then you have one of these nice little blowtorches. You can just and char it up. But we're going to go do it the old-fashioned way and throw it in the oven.
How long do we keep it in the oven?
Until it's nice and golden brown.
So we have to keep an eye on it.
Yes.
So that's another thing we delegate to someone else.
Exactly. We give that to maybe one of the kids, one of the teenagers. Stand here and watch this. When it turns its color to potato, let me know.
Okay. All right. So what else are we going to do in the meantime while I'm keeping an eye on the sweet potatoes?
All right. So the last thing is the green bean casserole. The ubiquitous green bean casserole. Green beans, canned mushroom soup, and canned fried onions.
No.
Okay.
No.
So first thing about the green beans, make them either fresh or frozen. Please do not get them out of a can. Okay.
Yes.
Fresh or frozen will be fine. And then we go to the
Can I tell them why not to
yes,
get it out
absolutely. Please.
Please, can I? Because the last time that I had green bean casserole was years ago, before I knew all the junk that was in the cream of mushroom soup that you get in a can. And thank you now that I can make it actually healthy, because it is one of my favorites for most of us. So the can of the cream of mushroom soup has, first of all, it's genetically modified. It does have wheat. It has maltodextrin in it, and it does have MSG. So a lot of things that are going to make you feel not so good after you eat it, probably for days afterwards. And what you don't know is that these foods disrupt our DNA long term. So it means that it ends up causing illnesses and all kinds of things, and even cancer. It causes our cancer cells to start proliferating and we all have cancer cells. We want them to stay dormant. And so these kind of foods are going to activate that process. So we don't want to eat these things that are going to make us have illnesses further down the road when we think, oh, I just had it a couple of times. Well, that couple of times adds up. All right. As I'm supposed to be watching the sweet potatoes, actually, they look good. I think it's time for them to come out.
I think it is too. Where's my handy dandy?
We have right here. I can smell it. It's ready. Wow. I think that looks just like the marshmallows.
What do you think about that, folks?
Yay! Love it. Love it.
Not only that, it's sweet, so you're not going to be missing anything sweet from the marshmallows. It's light. It's fluffy. You can eat more of it. You're not going to get bogged down with the whole marshmallow hangover, if you will.
Corn syrup hangover?
Right.
Yes. So that means I get to eat that later, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That is all yours.
All right. So back to our green bean casserole.
Right. So we're back to showing you how to make your own cream of mushroom soup and how to make your own fried onions easy and not so much you making it, but maybe preparing it and having one of your guests / kids / in-laws / whoever make it. So come on back to the kitchen, we'll show you. All right, so here we are. The better version of the ubiquitous green bean casserole. So we've got our fresh green beans blanched, which means put in boiling water for about 30 seconds, put in ice water, chilled, all the grain is excited and then set. So here's your green beans. Now we're going to do the cream of mushroom soup. So we're going to start with some butter.
Oh, wow.
We're hot. And then to that butter, we're going to add some, this is what we've done before in our show, some sorghum flour. We're going to create a roux.
Our favorite. Yeah.
ROUX. It's a combination. Now, we use butter and sorghum flour. You can use oil and sorghum flour. You can use any other type of flour. You can use brown rice flour. But basically trying to create a paste. And this is going to be your thickener. So you get that really good cream of mushroom soup consistency and viscosity.
We like sorghum flour because it's a superfood, so it has lots of good
like
benefits.
we've said before, sorghum is an ancient grain similar to quinoa. It has a lot of nutrients and a lot of really good health benefits to it.
Without the gluten.
Without the gluten, that is correct. Wild mushrooms.
So do you let those just kind of cook down, the mushrooms, to where they're cooked?
For a little bit, for about maybe 30 seconds or so.
Okay.
You see here we've got the mushrooms are now kind of covered in the roux, which is fine because we're going to go with vegetable stock next, and that's going to pick up all the roux and the mushrooms, and it's going to help thicken the broth.
That's what the sorghum flour does, right?
That
Thicken
is
it?
correct.
All right. I'm learning. So that was chicken stock?
That was vegetable stock.
Oh, vegetable stock. Okay.
Yes. And so we're going to let this sit here and heat up for a second to thicken up. Let the roux activate. Now something else, let's say you're at a point when you don't want your mushroom soup to taste like flour or a thickener. Another really, really good thickener, let me get this, look, is this right here, gumbo filet. Gumbo filet is what people in New Orleans and Louisiana and Creoles and Cajuns, what they use to thicken their gumbo. All it is 100% ground sassafras leaves, but they're very absorbent and they thicken stews and soups very shortly. You see today when you watch your cooking shows, you have xanthan gums and guar gums and all the Ultratex 3, all these chemicals that you can use to thicken things, but this is an A1 natural, all natural thickener.
What is sassafras?
Sassafras is a plant.
Okay.
Actually, sassafras is also what you use to make root beer.
Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting. Did not know that.
So we're going to give ourselves a little bit of filet. It doesn't really have a really big flavor profile, so even if you use it as a thickener, it's very herbaceous. So if you get anything, you're going to get a little bit of herbs. Speaking of herbs, to our soup, we're going to add a little bit of a thyme rosemary blend.
And how long does that need to cook down? Or
honestly, it all depends on how much you're making and how hot it is, and the bigger the batch. I mean, if you look right now, we're already there.
Oh yeah. Wow, that looks good.
And that's the filet. The filet acts like that. And it's all natural, all, I guess you could say it's organic.
Yeah. Kind of show that so they can see the thickness of it. Wow, that looks great.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is going to go right over our green beans.
Ooh.
And folks, Kay, could you please tell them what they're saving by not using canned soup?
Well, like we talked about earlier, just the MSG that which causes a lot of people problems, headaches. Again, that has wheat in it. It has maltodextrin. If you pick up a can and there's a ton of words in there you can't pronounce, then it's probably not going to be so good for you. So, we want to make sure that when we read labels that there's a bunch of names that are really big words and names that they're probably going to be toxic to your body and your cells. So this is all living food. It's mushrooms. It's everything that we just talked about that's being made from scratch, and it's poured over these. What kind of green beans are those? Just the
local organic green beans.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, there's nothing that looks or tastes different about frozen or canned green beans over canned creamy mushroom soup.
Well, it's gonna taste better too.
It's gonna taste cleaner. It's
Yeah.
gonna taste lighter. It's gonna taste. You're not gonna eat it and just feel so heavy. So this is the day you can actually eat more of it because
Right.
it's just like the sweet potato, it's gonna be lighter and better for you.
Yeah.
So now the last topping.
Ooh,
So
the onions.
So this is something again that when somebody gets here, hey, can I do anything to help you? You sure can. These are just thin sliced white onions. Put them in milk for about 10 minutes just so they absorb some moisture. And then what we go into is a little bit of gluten-free flour. Now when I say gluten-free flour, if you put it into straight sorghum flour, it might not set up as well. So there's a lot of brands right now. Bob's Red Mill, Krusty's, Pillsbury.
They usually have brown rice.
Yeah, but you know what? They're still gluten free. Okay, so these have been sitting on the flour for probably about 20 minutes or so. And you can do the thing about this, if you wanted to one night, you can do this 2 or 3 days ahead. You can do the mushroom soup you can do it a week ahead and freeze it if you want to. So we're gonna go ahead and take these onions. Now, if you don't have a deep fryer, then you can get a pot of oil and set it to about 375 degrees.
What do we use? Coconut oil?
Yes, we're frying 100% coconut oil.
Yes. Coconut oil is better for you. It has a higher heating point than most oils. It doesn't become rancid, and it is a good oil because it has lauric acid in it, so it's going to have lots of benefits as far as being antiviral. It just tastes better, and it's better for you. It's good for your brain, so you can use that coconut oil to fry chicken or anything.
What? Fried chicken?
Fried chicken?
Which, if you don't know, at Redbird Pharmacy, that's our number one seller.
Yes.
Is we have gluten-free fried chicken with a gluten-free sorghum waffle.
Yes.
So if you've never had fried chicken and waffles because you're celiac or you're gluten sensitive, come see us.
Yeah.
We'll set you up. All right, so we're gonna let these fried onions go for till the same as before, till nice and golden brown.
So you put those on top, and then do we bake it after that, or is it done?
You know, to be honest, you can go either way.
Mm-hmm.
It's ready just like that. I mean, everything is cooked, everything is hot, everything is ready to go. But if you want everything to kind of meld together, you can throw it in the oven, 325 degrees, maybe 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
It's when you use all of the processed foods before, then you really need to bake them for them to activate whatever chemicals and whatever is in them.
That just sounds bad.
I know. But,
right.
And we always say anything's easy if you know how to do it. But folks, if you email us, I will send you specific directions on how to do this, but not for you to how to do it, for you to give it to your guests to know how to do it. All right, we're set. Onions are fried.
So all these recipes they can get online, right? We need to wrap up this show. So our YouTube is where Nutritious meets delicious. Look at that. That is beautiful. So where Nutritious meets delicious. And what is our whole thing? We're going to save the world one bite at a time. Thank you.